Yo, what's going on out there, YouTube family? We have the exclusive goods. How is Godzilla versus Kong? I'm here with Lucas. We're Team JVS. What's going on, Lucas?
What's going on? This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a very interesting review because, yet again, this is why our reviews, I think, work so well, because a lot of times we don't talk about the films until we actually get to the review.
I have not said a word about this film. Not a single word.
He said not one word. I think we had discussions about this film, months past and the possibilities of what could come up. And we've got like this random chat where people start theorizing what's going to come, what's not going to come. So I didn't know what.
It just gets amazing when most of Lucas's theories automatically come to fruition in these movies.
So let's go ahead and get down to it. Godzilla versus Kong. This is the synopsis for it. The epic next chapter of the cinematic movie verse pits two of the greatest icons in motion picture history against one another for a fearsome battle to the fittest. So, Lucas, first words. What was your impression of Godzilla versus Kong?
They there. That's the best way to put it. They there. The movie delivers on the premise. That's all that matters here. That's it. The movie delivers on the premise. The name of the movie is Godzilla versus Kong, and you get Godzilla versus Kong. And when you get Godzilla versus Kong, it's an enjoyable ride. The problem is the whole movie isn't Godzilla versus Kong, and humans are involved. And when you put humans in things, everything just goes bad when you put humans in these type of movies.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as vague as possible before really, really going in here, because this is just my opening opinion. So it gives you what you want. It's named Godzilla versus Kong. It gave you Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. So my opinions about this film, I came from King of the Monsters not really liking it because of all the human elements that they were trying to put in there that just did not work for me, that were just so, I'm not going to say idiotic. It was just so not what I was trying to look for at all. And then it was kind of like a slugfest of things going on and just shooting in my face, which are cool visually and immersively. Mothra, cool. But I couldn't get behind that film. This one minimized a lot more the human element from King of the Monsters. And they just went to the nitty gritty, which was the fight, which is between Kong and Godzilla, which I appreciated. I actually had a very fun time with this. I think it was very entertaining. I was able to see it with my wife. My wife had no preconceived notions because she didn't care for the second one. She liked the first one that was in 2005 with Bryan Cranston.
14, right?
2014 with Bryan Cranston. She really enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed that one. And I think that from an entertainment and a spectacle level, to see these icons really duking it out, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed that aspect of the film. And I think if you're going there for that, you're going to really enjoy this film. Because any other human element...
What you're not going to say is that they minimize the human element in this movie. Because I can ask multiple questions about multiple humans in this movie that don't... What was the point? What was the point of the father and daughter in this movie?
There was a father.
I'm not getting. See what I mean?
So okay. So look, I'm gonna say this: Millie Bobby Brown's character.
I wouldn't even talk about that father and daughter though. Jeez,
is there another father and daughter?
That's not even the father and daughter I was talking about.
Without spoiling anything.
What was the point?
They were the pseudo antagonists. They were the mad scientists that were.
But why?
Doing things.
But why?
You know why.
No. Not the end result. But why? They never told you why they did what they did. No one ever explains anything in this movie. God.
So this is gonna sound really weird, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna say this with all respect. Brian
Mhm.
Tyree Henry, they
Mhm.
well, it's weird.
Mhm.
The only bit of understanding story really came from the things and the conjecture that he was just spitting out of his mouth most of the time. If you wanted to understand what was kind of going on, you had to focus in on what he was saying. But they made him so irate and
I'm
nerdy.
about to
I
say,
didn't know. I really had no idea.
trying to understand what he was saying is the equivalent of trying to understand Jesse when he was doing Lex Luthor and what he was saying. You won't understand anything here. You're like, but so why did he put a jar of pee next to Godzilla? Like, no, it makes no sense. The humans in this movie make absolutely no sense, including the little deaf girl. She
Well, see,
makes no sense.
but see, I appreciated
You
her.
better not.
I appreciated her.
Because she was cute.
No, no,
She was a
no, no,
cute
no.
little human.
She was not only was she cute, but she was kind of like the only buffer that I had of like, if say hypothetically speaking, there was no other humans in this, right?
Which I
And
would have
just the
preferred
little,
no humans.
just the little Asian girl was the only person accompanying, Godzilla throughout the film. I would have been okay with it because then I was like, oh, okay, they've got a connection. That's her purpose. That is her.
They gave you a little human to try to humanize Kong. Why? I don't need Kong to be humanized.
But they always do that. It's always either been a girl that's a damsel in distress, or it's been like, who was it in the 2005? Who played that?
No, you talk, that horrible Peter Jackson one.
I forget who
but
played
that long Peter Jackson movie. Yeah, here's the problem though.
Naomi Watts,
There wasn't one in Kong Skull Island.
There wasn't.
That's what made there was not someone who tried to humanize Kong. They literally told you he is a monster who will destroy everything to defend his people. See, that
was so okay. So without spoiling anything, there's a connection there that justifies that, right?
Here's the thing. If the little girl isn't in this movie, she's not needed. That's the problem. It felt like they didn't want to give you full monsters fighting each other, so we have to interject ridiculous story elements. I mean, utterly insane. And it's one part of this movie that it has to be the dumbest. It had to be written by a 4-year-old who came through.
You're talking about the okay.
I ain't gotta say it because you know about it. It had to be written by a 4-year-old who said, "Hey, Daddy, you know what I would love to see? I would love to see King Kong do this and go into this and then this." And you're like, "Oh, but none of that makes any sense." So how did we get to an alien planet all of a sudden in the middle of Kong versus Godzilla?
So I'm gonna say this because there are some of you guys out there that we're just going now at this point. But some of you guys out there that do want this, I've heard some of you guys be like, are they gonna introduce this? They're gonna talk about this. From that standpoint, that you guys that love Kong and love Godzilla and love the kaiju universe, I understand how big this is for you guys. Visually, it looks amazing. Like I honestly was kind of like, man, there were some moments in this movie I was like, I wish that I was seeing this in IMAX. I really would.
That's one of my biggest points here. This movie should not be watched at home. I hate to tell everyone that who's going to watch this at home, this movie has no business being watched at home. This is a definition of a film that you need to see in theaters because, and I'm not saying I didn't think it was entertaining. I may have thought it was a better movie if I watched it in a theater. Why did you put that up? I may have been more entertained if I watched this in a theater than I was watching it from home. Because some of the elements and some of the visual shots and some of the fight scenes, some on a big screen would probably look amazing. Dude. On my television, they looked really good. But I know, like, the sound,
scope and exactly. Like, that's it.
That would have been
the sound
ridiculous to like be in a theater and hear. Well, most likely I'm going to go to a theater and re-see this movie, even if I sleep through any parts with humans talking. I will go see it just to watch the two monsters fight again. And I think that's something, if you can go, if you're comfortable going, a theater may be the best experience for you. If you're going to watch it at home, just fast forward through the humans talking.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I think that is my negative in this film. We got to talk about the humans. I'm gonna try to get through it so we can talk about, some of the more interesting parts about the film, which is the monsters more so than anything. So Alexander Skarsgård plays a role in this movie. He plays this pseudo scientist that lost a loved one that they don't really go into, just a whole bunch of exposition. Millie Bobby Brown continues her role from the last Godzilla film that I didn't really care for, and the storyline that they messed up really badly, and they kind of make her this, I don't know, Carmen Sandiego, just going and looking for this one dude.
I'm tired of Seven. That's her name, right? Seven?
That's right? 11.
Ah, okay. Number girl. I'm tired of number girl.
Because she brings along Julian Dennison.
Ned.
Dennison?
Brings along Ned. I named him Ned.
No, he's not Ned.
He reminds me of the same dude from Far From Home and all them Spider-Man movies.
Because he was in that movie Hunt for the Wilder People. Like he's actually a really good little actor, but in this film, they just don't use him for nothing but to be the side character. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't need Millie Bobby Brown's character in this. I didn't need her dad in this.
No.
I really, actually, the only thing, I mean, they could have cleaned him up a little bit better, but, Brad Tyree Henry could have been the only person in this. And
here's the weird part, though. Did you need him either? You really didn't need him.
So, in the original Transformers movies, where it's like in the beginning, it kind of is like, okay, you got this one group of people that sees what's going on, and then all of a sudden, like, you don't need them anymore. I think that the beginning of it, yes. But after a certain point, when you get to that pivot point,
couldn't it have been just the guy at the beginning who was sitting at the computer first? Couldn't he been the guy to just tell you all of that? You didn't need a name for that role. You didn't even need anyone recognizable in that role. You could have gotten anybody to be like, matter of fact, and this is not me being racist. Let's start off by saying that. I'd have much preferred an Asian American actor in that role than David Tyree Henry. Because it brings back those elements
from the original
Godzilla. Like,
I get
it's so many great Asian American actors who could have been put in these type of roles.
Yeah.
And just someone who knows, like, oh my God, this is what they're doing, and blah blah blah, without giving any plot details away. But it wasn't necessary for him to be. It seemed like they hired known actors to do roles that weren't required of known actors.
I agree, and it's kind of sad because there is an Asian character in this. I don't want to spoil his role or why he's in it. This is played by Shun Oguri. They, in my opinion, they missed an opportunity with his character. And I was kind of like, did y'all really do his character like that? And it's like, it ain't even on him. It was just the way they wrote him and the way they used him. Like, when I say used, I don't mean that in a positive way. They used him. And it's no shame to him, but I was kind of like, if I went from, the Bryan Cranston version in 2014, I think he said, to here, I'm just like, what are y'all doing? I don't know what they were trying to do, but
I think it was a rebound from King of the Monsters. In all honesty, King of Monsters is a horrible movie on every level humanly possible. That's a horrible movie. And I think they went into this one with a new director and wanted to, again, bring down a lot of the human elements, but they still wanted humans in it. I think they were going after like Shin Godzilla, where you have humans in it, but they're interchangeable. They're not really overly important. But I think they went about it with known actors. And some of these roles make absolutely no sense.
But that's the thing. Like, it's not even so much that they're not important. Like, they're not even needed. I think there's a pivotal difference where you got like a character like, what was the dude? Lance Reddick from those John Wick films. What was he doing in this movie? What was the point of the few minutes he was in it? Am I wrong?
He's about 5. He's in it for about 5 minutes.
But there was no need for him. Honestly, in all actuality, and I said this about
it could have been a need for the character, but again, it's a known actor that's throwing you off. That's the key part. If this was a bunch of no-name actors and you didn't know any of these people, would you feel the same way? Because there would be no over connection to any of these humans. It'd have been like, who cares if Millie Bobby Brown, played by actor X, dies? But with it being her, it's certain cachet and certain weight to the character that's expected. And that's the downside of the humans of this one, is that, one, they're not fun. And that's what makes Kong Skull Island still the best out of this series of monster universes, is that those humans tended to have fun. Even when they were in the movie and you didn't have Kong, it was fine because the humans were serviceable and they didn't overshadow the story. Here, I think they did a good job at pulling back, but still, it's just still a lot going on when all anyone wants to see is Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. And again, make no mistake, you guys, you get that. You get a fight. Like you get them going for blows, regardless of how it ends up. You get it. You really do get that from a visual immersive standpoint.
As Adam said, and I am not, again, I got to preface what I'm saying. I'm not being disrespectful towards another movie. I'm saying word for word what the director said here. He said he went into this thinking, my God, I can't make BVS.
Yeah.
I can't make a movie where we're advertising one person against another and you really don't see them fight each other. So he does an amazing job of, on multiple occasions, of having Godzilla and Kong fight each other. Yeah. So it's not a short fight. It's not one fight scene. It's some extended fights here.
Yeah.
And when monsters are fighting monsters, this movie works on so many levels. It's an end. But again, in the end, as long as you can overlook the human element, you can enjoy this movie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this, and I don't want anybody to take this offensively, because I do love some of these actors, like for real. I think I gotta be careful with my wording here. I think that coming off of King of the Monsters and the global level threat with these kaijus literally about to eradicate the world, right? All they had to show was Kong in a certain location and Godzilla being threatened by his existence and them understanding that they're in the same vicinity. That everything that they did, I mean, yes, some small communication here or there would have led the same exact way without any of the other human characters. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if it was just a scientist talking for a second, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening right here. Oh, we gotta help. Well, no, whoever doing this.
Oh, so
and that's what I'm saying. That
the movie.
Yes,
that's the beginning of the movie. And they didn't need anything else. That's all.
Exactly. That's all they needed in the very beginning. From that point, the rest of the movie, there was no other human characters needed because I feel like it was just not necessary. It wasn't necessary.
Have human characters, but at that point, you play them like you would play them in disaster films, where everything about the humans is reacting to them too. If you understand,
kind of like the first one, kind of like the first Godzilla movie.
No, that movie was horrible and had way too much humans in it. I am talking about like 2012 or Day After Tomorrow. What I mean is that if you do a situation where it's Highlander, because I said that months ago that this was going to be Highlander, and it's Kong senses Godzilla, Godzilla senses Kong, it can only be one of them. And you know what's going to happen. And at that point, we see the destruction and we see humans reacting to them, destroying everything. Instead of a long, unnecessary subplot of a subplot that goes on in this film. You just needed those two to fight each other for the entire movie. And it'd have been perfect. It'd have been perfect. But instead, they felt the need to interject a subplot of a subplot in a movie.
Do you think though, Lucas, if it was time, because the movie is only, it clocks at 1 hour and 53 minutes. If they would have removed the human element, would it have been like maybe an hour?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
You could get this to it easily. Nah, the human element isn't 50 minutes here. Meaning, not saying that the humans don't take up, because they do take up that much time. I mean, if you extend fight scenes,
Okay, yeah.
you could get to 1 hour and
You might
30.
be
You
able to
could
get
almost get to 1 hour and 40.
Yeah, I get it.
Again, without spoiling anything, the third act, the big fight in the third act isn't that long.
It ain't.
It's like 5 minutes. So imagine if you extend that out 15 to 20 minutes. Perfect.
It would have lived up to its name. I mean, which is what the movie is about.
Because that's what people wanted more than anything. And granted, you still get it. And that's the good part here.
Yeah.
You're still going to get it. You know, I was waiting for the "Where's Martha" line in it to stop them from fighting each other. But it never happened.
I think that this is the thing, though, that I didn't think that they were going to do, but they did do it well in Kong Skull Island. But they showed Kong's cognitive ability in a way that I was like, honestly, he didn't need any of the humans. Like he's intelligent enough to do everything that he would have, everything that would have landed the same exact way,
with absolutely no human input. Yes,
there's no humans. I mean, maybe the transport him here or there, but there was not any need of communication. So from that standpoint, yes, the little girl wasn't necessarily needed. I did enjoy my emotional connection to her. I thought she was cute. Yeah, it's true.
You thought she was cute. That's why you like her. But she's unnecessary.
Yeah, but
she's unnecessary.
I mean, but at the same time, there was a moment in the third act that I was kind of like, "Oh."
Did you cry? I know you didn't cry for that.
No, I ain't cried. But I'm saying,
I knew you would.
I was not. I was kind of just like, no. I mean, I needed to latch to something because this one of the two I ain't have any kind of connection to whatsoever. I just wanted to see him, Millie watch some stuff. But I'm saying that I appreciated that because that was one of the things I did like about Kong Skull Island. But at the same time, it's very different.
And also, real quick, this, for everyone out there who's going to go see this feels way more like a Kong movie than it does a Godzilla movie. This feels like a legit sequel to Kong Skull Island. Like,
I'm gonna make a terrible comment. Somebody's gonna feel bad about it.
Godzilla is not the primary anything in this movie. And that didn't surprise me, but it still threw me off a little bit. After you see it and after you enjoy everything or you hate everything, then you kind of notice like, oh, this is a Kong movie. But
so I'm going to say something I know Lucas understands what I'm saying, but think about Batman versus Superman, how Batman versus Superman is more of a Batman film than it is a Superman film. It's the same context.
Yes.
And I think that this does it better.
Much better.
But at the same time, if any of you guys are kind of like, this is all about this character or Godzilla, don't count on that. So, I mean, just enjoy the ride. I think that they allow both characters to live up to their name, in my personal opinion. Like, from what I've seen from every different incarnation, good and bad, they really do go for it. And all the strengths of both characters, I think they visually show it. Atmospherically, they show what their capability is. They do some really interesting things that I was kind of like, whoa, what does that freaking mean? I have questions. I actually have some questions. I mean, I didn't think I'd want to do a spoiler review on this one, but I might have to talk to somebody that knows, or maybe talk to Lucas, maybe he knows. But there's something that happens.
I kind of know what you're talking about. Nobody knows. That shit was made up. Don't even worry about it.
You think so? Because I kind of feel like there's got to be some kind of explanation there, right?
Are we talking about the Upside Down?
Oh, yeah. No, what? Not even that. But when they get to a certain place, that's all I can say without spoiling anything.
Yeah, I took it as
I want explanations for that, and I like that. I like that was something that I didn't expect, and I'd never I mean, I didn't have any preconceived notions about any of that, so I was like, oh, this is really interesting. I like this. But anyway, what is your things that you like the most about this film and why?
Godzilla and Kong. Look, it is very simple here, people. The acting is bad. The plot is one of the worst things humanly possible. But it gives you Godzilla versus Kong, and that's all you should care about. Don't go into this movie expecting anything else but Godzilla versus Kong, and as long as that's what you expect, you will not be disappointed. But just know when humans come on, you can mute your television until they're off again, and then Godzilla versus Kong is fighting each other.
Yeah, for me, it's the same thing. I did not like any of the, and it's some actually decent acting.
It is some people who are really talented in the field of acting, and still they are all equally horrible in this movie.
Like, I guess unlike King of the Monsters, which they went far.
It's the mother in King of the Monsters. She is freaking horrible, dude. But it doesn't get that bad.
It doesn't.
They are irritating, but amazingly, some of the most irritating humans get killed pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, I think even the ones that were like really, really annoying are way more tolerable in this one than the other one. Yeah. So it's kind of like you still can eat your popcorn, enjoy your day and have a good time watching it because there's a lot going on. There's like 4 different fights, maybe something like that, and one of them is really vicious one. I kind of was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. You get a couple of things out of this film. You get really good fights. You get a clear winner. That's all we're gonna say. Not gonna tell you who it is. You get a clear winner in this movie, and then you get humans that you don't need.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I kind of didn't like that side of it, but I can't say why.
The clear winner?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I get it.
But when I say clear winner, I'm not talking about the ending and what happens. That's not the clear winner. The clear winner happens 20 minutes before the ending. That's the clear winner, and I think that's what they were going for, to show you who the clear winner is. What happens at the end has nothing to do with who the winner was.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, we're on the same page. That's exactly okay. Cool, yeah. Cool. We're good. Then. We're good. Yeah, we'll talk more after this. Yeah. But what do you rate this one? And I don't know how you actually rate this.
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying this. Okay, we have talked in the past about movies being bad but entertaining.
We did.
This fits in that category. This is a bad movie. I can't lie to you and tell you it's not. It is a bad movie, but it is entertaining, and it will entertain you. So out of a 10, I give it maybe a 5.5 out of 10. It's a bad movie, but it's entertaining. And it's all because of the humans. Here, I am not blaming Godzilla and Kong for nothing.
Oh no.
Here's a split. Scenes with Godzilla, Kong, and monsters, 8.5 out of 10. Scenes with humans, 2.5.
I was gonna say 2.
so it evens out to about a 5.5 out of 10 for the whole movie, because the humans drag it down, but they don't take away from the enjoyment and excitement of it. And I think most people who will go see it, as evident so far around the world, will ignore the humans in this movie and just enjoy the fight scenes.
Yeah, I think that with me, I really enjoyed all the fight scenes. I really enjoyed all the kaiju action. If I'm going off the same scale that Lucas talking about, I agree. But everything between the kaiju, all of that was a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I enjoyed all that side of it. The human side of it was a 1 or 2 out of 10. So I rest this at like a 7 or 6.5 or 7 out of 10. I
Okay.
really enjoyed it. I could actually watch it again. I would probably never look at King of Monsters ever again.
Ever in my
no
life.
matter how beautiful some of the shots look. But this, I could get behind this. I could rock with this. I could watch this again, which is a good thing. And hopefully you guys hear my heart behind it. I don't want to offend anybody. This is very entertaining. This is a very entertaining film. And I think if what you really wanted is to see these two battle it out, it gave you what it wanted. Now, I can't talk about that. All right,
but it's
so
not a good movie.
we're done.
That's the key part. It gives you what you want when they're fighting. It is not a good movie. And I know beforehand, before you people, some of you people in the comments say, if you're expecting a good movie from Godzilla, you are that is the dumbest piece of logic I've ever heard. Yes, you're expecting a good movie. I've seen one. I saw it 2015. Shin Godzilla is a good movie, a really good movie, and it's with Godzilla. So I know you can make one. You just have to strip away the stupid human elements of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's written in the contract that Godzilla has to have humans, because I don't think Kong has to have humans. I think the humans are strictly for Godzilla. And matter of fact, in this movie, the bad humans are mainly for Godzilla.
Yo, he's actually right, you guys, because Kong only has 3 or 2 humans associated to him. Maybe?
All the rest of the humans are for Godzilla. I think it's in their contract that Godzilla has to have humans.
Maybe it's a foundational franchise thing. They were kind of like, we got to tie everything in, but then the actual human Godzilla characters I actually like, they ain't even in this joint from the other one. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, it wasn't like, people from the Bryan Cranston film were going to come into this one. So, if any of you guys thought that was going to happen, I'll tell you that it's not. So don't get your hopes up for that. Don't.
Taylor Johnson.
No, I was like, look, I'm going to say that because I don't want nobody to get their hopes up, bro. No, I ain't going to do that. I ain't gonna do that to nobody.
Again, there's some big surprises, some things you're gonna really, really like. Some scenes are amazingly shot here. This movie looks beautiful, and if you can see it in IMAX, because I'm gonna look for IMAX to catch this movie in, because some tells me my score may jump if I sit on an IMAX screen to even 11 out of 10 for Kong and Godzilla, but the human part won't jump at all. But I know their fights could jump.
Yeah, there was a scene that takes place in a hole, and like the shot, the camera follows coming out of the hole, and then it merges from a fight. And I was like, "This is the dopest thing I've seen in a long time."
A great shot for scale.
Yes,
because Godzilla has something in that place, and when it comes out, you see the scale of it. And boy, it shows the difference. And that stuff like that is tricks that Adam pulls off greatly.
Very well.
I think he's almost the perfect director for this. I don't know who the writer was because you're not perfect for it. But from a directing standpoint, you needed someone who knew horror elements and who could direct action. And he pulls that off beautifully in this movie at times.
All the action in this is just freaking
insane. Even some stuff without it being Godzilla and Kong. Some stuff with Godzilla by himself. Some stuff with Kong by himself. Like, it's great.
Yeah, I hate to make the comparison, but they made Godzilla like the Superman of this universe. Like I was like, this joke a thug, man. I was like, Godzilla rolling around like a thug.
He literally has heat vision, Joe. And knows how to use it properly. Like,
bro. No, so there's a scene, y'all. And when it happens, my wife, she was like, she was like, did Godzilla just, what? Yep. I was like, yes, that did happen, honey. I don't know how, but it happened.
Hey. I also said again, you can tell from us talking about it. From a certain standpoint, you're going to enjoy this movie so much. You just got to get past the human parts of it that make no sense.
Yeah, just ignore them. I mean, well,
no, you can literally like in a bad way. Ask the little girl at the beginning. You can mute it when any other human talks in this movie, and you still would know what's going on. And tell me I'm wrong. Besides the little girl, scenes with the little girl, which amazingly is Kong's humans. Besides that part,
there's one part you wouldn't understand why they're doing it, and that's the dad and the daughter.
I still don't understand why. I saw the movie and don't understand why they did it. I rewound the movie to make sure I didn't miss something, and yet and still nothing was explained why they did what they did.
But we're gonna leave it at that. You guys got our scores. I gave it a 7. He gave it a 5. We were completely entertained. We had a good time. That's all that matters. Okay, guys. We'll be back. We're gonna go and do some recording. Maybe do some Falcon Winter Soldier. Maybe do some Superman. I don't know what we got to do, but we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Enjoy Godzilla, King of the Monsters. No, I'm sorry. Godzilla versus Kong.
Don't enjoy Godzilla, King of the Monsters at all.
Yeah, but bye, guys.